cannot afford to miss a single moment of the next hour. Get ready to have your ideas about sexuality, love, and relationships blown wide open. It's time to get educated, entertained, and enlightened, as well as sexually empowered. You have now tuned into the Tantra Love, Sex, and Intimacy Show. Now, here's your host, Tanja Diamond.
Hello, everybody. It's another beautiful Thursday in Seattle. And you know, I like to tell you that that's not actually really true. It's always raining here. Don't you think, Max? Yeah, it's raining. We're just pretending it's sunny or something like that. It's all an illusion anyway, right?
It is.
Just like what you're doing here, listening to this show. It's an illusion. We're not really speaking. We're just voices in your head or something like that. Anyway, you are here at Tantra Love, Sex, and Intimacy. And I have Max from Team Tantra here. Max is our manager, tech guy, kind of all-around God dude.
God dude, I can take that coming from you.
He's the God dude. He can really bring it in so many ways. And I think the only challenge I have is making sure Max doesn't get overdone. Overdone, right, exactly. You know, what do you work in 18-hour days?
If I can, yes.
Yeah.
I can hold it down to that much, then
yeah, you
great.
see if he can hold it down to 18 hours, right, I know. Talk about adding a dynamo to the team. And we are, of course, here today to talk about fun things. And I think one of the fun things we are going to talk about today are some of these questions that people keep asking me. Last week after the radio show, maybe it was before the radio show, we did some filming, we did some video. And that was quite a lot of fun, video answering these questions that get asked. And, you know, Max, this is going to be a good one for you. You know, one of the questions I have is, not me personally, but the question I get asked, how do I become a sexual god?
A sexual god?
Right.
Oh.
So this gentleman wants to know, how do I become a sexual god?
So just to clarify this here, because, you know, this is an interesting question as far as I'm concerned. Are we saying not the kind of God who just, you know, listens to prayers and answers them and is responsible for, all this other...
Yeah, I don't think he's asking about that kind of God. I think he's like, you know, how can he be the Tantra man?
How can he bring it?
That's right.
Oh, okay.
Sexual, right.
Gotcha.
Sexually, how can he bring it? What do you think? What's the answer to that?
Well, I would say that one needs to be present. You need to be present and...
Like with a bow on or something?
Right, a present, yes. You know, that helps. It's a great icebreaker.
That's like Dick in the Box. You see that video?
Oh, my God. I've not seen that video.
That's really funny. Everybody now will look that up on YouTube. That's the man thinking it's the ultimate present.
The ultimate present.
Right.
Well, kind of what I think I meant by that was, you know, being available, as in present in the moment, making eye contact, being authentic, being genuine when you speaking from the heart, meaning what you say.
I thought it was about some kind of technique. You know, like the butterfly technique that guarantees to get her off every time. Doesn't that a sexual god?
Well, I don't know, you know, hate to break a butterfly on a grindstone, but I would say it's a lot more real, and it changes in the moment a lot more frequently than any one technique can provide.
Well, that would be true. So, are you a sexual god, Max?
Yes, I am.
Wow. Well, ladies, I know I have there's a big fan club of the beautiful men that are in part of Team Tantra, and your guys are going to be sad because Max does. Did you put your picture up yet?
I did not.
He does not put his picture up yet on his profile, but when you see him, you will understand that he's probably speaking truth here. Yes, he's a sexual god to look at, and so let's see what he can bring other than that. But so it's not about a technique; it's about your heart, or it's about presence. It's about being authentic.
It's about that, and yeah, excuse me there. It's it's about besides, you know, there's emotion that happens, and I think besides emotion, the motion that I'm speaking of is something that can start from just a glance. It starts from that connection, and then it starts to move. I think it moves through the body. We start to feel it. We start to feel the excitement with our partner before anything happens. And this is true no matter what education we've had, or whether we call ourselves tantric, or whether we're just dating, or whatever we're doing. I think that being aware of the motion and the feelings in the body and where these move allow us a greater sensitivity and to connect truly with our partner. The connection is what counts.
And, we talk about this a lot, and people keep wondering. It's not the foreplay. People, I hear a lot of saying, well, I want the technique. I want the technique. And it's, the technique is, you have to grow yourself. The technique of being a sexual god for what women want. I mean, most women don't really know. Okay, the average woman out there thinks that the average man is doing an okay job. And I say okay because, 58% of women would rather go shopping. So obviously it's just okay. And the problem is it's ignorance. It's not that people don't care. It's not that men aren't trying or any of that. It's just mostly ignorance. We don't know what we don't know. And there's this whole plethora of other things out there, and this whole amazing journey out there that is sexual, that is all that. And we just don't know that because we've never been taught it. We've never seen it. It's elusive. And so these are some of the things that you're talking about. Now, I want you guys to be cool because is this your first time on the radio, Max?
This is my first time.
This is the first time on the radio, and we're gonna take a breath with Max because he's doing a great job. It just really gets nerve-wracking being on the radio if you haven't been on it before because you're like, oh my God, you know that there are thousands of people listening to us, all over the world.
Yeah.
Does that help?
That really helps the situation.
That's our fabulous producer over there that's going. That was helpful, Tanya. Thanks. It's all perfectly fine. You're doing a great job. So
Thank
somebody
you.
write in and call in and tell Max he's doing a great job, okay? Because he really is. All right. Being a sexual god, that's a lot to ask for, and it takes a lot of years of practice, I think. I don't think you can just be a sexual god just listening to one radio show. That will help, though we could help. How about this one? How do I get a woman to want me in a social, casual setting? What are your techniques, Billy?
Well, the biggest thing is you got to listen to them. If you're not listening to what they're saying or trying to communicate with it doesn't matter whether they had the worst day in the world. You just need to sit there and listen to them and get in tune to what they're mad about or what they're happy about or whatever, and then try to worry about getting the bra off or whatever, because I know that's what guys are worrying about. So, first of all, why don't you get in tune to what they're actually talking about, and then move.
So what you're saying is...
Slide into second, all right?
So what you're saying is you listen. So now all the women are thinking, oh, great, so this guy's just listening to me while he's thinking now, I wonder what kind of bra. Is that a front closure or a back closure? But I'm really showing up to listen to what she's saying.
Well, at least you know what's going on.
Well, a sexual god can actually tell right off the bat whether it's a front closure or a back closure.
There you go.
We need to get this on track right away.
Excellent. So getting a woman to want you in a social casual setting, really has to do, first of all, of how you own the room. If you walk into the room and you own the room, she's going to notice you. And the first part of getting her to want you is to actually get her to notice you. And I think that is a big, big part of it.
I would have to agree, 100%. I didn't think of that myself, but now that you say it,
yeah, I know.
Oh my God.
It's like, wow, she said it. Woo! Owning the room, walking into the room as though you are so incredibly comfortable there that nothing can shake you from that. Taking a moment to stop when you walk into the room, taking a breath, taking a look around, and very deliberately stopping on the women that interest you with intent, with complete locking. I'm doing like that Billy right now. I'm just looking at him with intent and looking right at him and then taking a breath, looking at Max. Yeah, okay, nice. And then looking over here and then walking over to wherever it is I'm going to go, whether it's the bar or whatever. You have now, gotten attention. And that's the first part. Making them want you is having the confidence that you might have an adventure and a life going on beyond the desperation of getting laid.
Wow. That was a mouthful.
That's true. It's true.
Doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make sense?
Nope.
Well, because the other thing you can do is just walk in with a sign that says, looking to get laid, anybody want me?
That's me.
Wow.
Well, that's okay, too. And if you do that, there are women that would look at him and say, well, he's really cute. Okay, I'm game.
Well, absolutely. And, maybe in a slightly different social setting, I might ask you how that's working for you. But,
How's that working for you?
Striking out.
no pretense there. I love it. I love it.
He's a great guy. Apparently that's not working. So you might try the owning the room part. And yeah, the whole point of going out as a man, and we all get it. All of us are looking to connect or have sex or whatever it is we're looking for, and we all get that. And there is something to be said for a straightforward man. I guess a man can walk up to a woman. I've had a man walk up to me and say, "So I noticed you. I want to take you home. I want to have sex with you. What do you think of that?" And in which case, I can look at him, critically and go, let me see the goods. Let me see what you're bringing. Because you're not asking for me emotion then. You're asking me to assess you on a completely visual, intellectual level. How can I assess whether this can be any good for me? In which case, I would ask a certain amount of questions. How's your ejaculation mastery? What do you know about Tantra? What about this? And if you can't answer those questions affirmatively for me, I'm passing.
So one thing I'm hearing is that if a man is going to approach you, and if he's going to bring it and approach you in such a way, and he finishes by appealing to your intellect instead of your emotions, then are you saying you're going to meet him on that intellect?
Exactly.
So now let's just go real slow here. Does this mean that you're actually, in a sense, giving him what he wants? Because he's asking for some assessment, some mental, and then you're giving him mental so in a way you're giving him what he wants.
I'm giving him what he's bringing, but it may not be what he wants.
Oh, okay.
If he wants in my pants and he asks me for an intellectual assessment, then he's not probably getting what he wants, because most women don't go home with somebody based on their intellect.
I see.
They're going home with them based on how they emotionally feel about him.
Well, this makes me a very lucky man as I do some reflection.
Emotional, because he's emotional. So that man, if he were to come up and instead of saying, "Hi, I'm attracted to you, I want to take you home," very bland like that, if he came up to you and said something like, "When I looked across the room and I saw you, my heart did a flip-flop." And that sounds corny, but okay, and she's like, "Wow, what's up with that?" And then as I got closer, I noticed that, wow, you've got this sparkle in your eye that's just so attractive. And I bet that blah, blah, blah. He's bringing it from a different space. I felt like this when I saw you.
Huh.
You move me in this way. If you start to appeal to her emotional sense.
I can hear that, and that sounds a lot different than the first one.
Right.
What do you think?
Right.
Versus,
how do you feel?
And he's not even really asking a question. He's making statements.
Right.
He's opening up a little bit.
Yep.
And this really helps the appeal if we're willing to open up and share what we have.
Yep.
Instead of standing on one side of the fence, reaching over, kind of randomly grabbing to see what we can, what we could get.
You'd love the visuals Max is giving me here. Very, 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 very true. It is true about feeling. And Billy had it right when he's saying listening, because what you're, in a sense, there, like the biggest foreplay words, or the best foreplay words in the world, is "tell me more."
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
When you're with a woman and she's saying something, you go, "Tell me more about that." How do you feel more? What makes you feel that way? I'm really curious about why you feel that way. She becomes intimately connected to you because she feels like you care about her and not just her sex. I personally love being a sex object, but a lot of women out there are not owning that part. They want to. You know why?
No, I don't. Tell me why.
Because when we're little girls, our mothers tell us sex is something people do when they're in love. They tell little girls like that all the time. You want to save sex for somebody special. What we do as women is endeavor to make all of you special.
Oh.
Because otherwise it's wrong. This is subconscious.
Well, that sounds kind of great in a way, just where I'm sitting here right now. It sounds like I might want to be special. So what exactly is wrong with that?
Nothing's wrong with it if it's a conscious level, but a lot of it's on an unconscious level. So it's like the women want to make the man, she wants to go home with him. He's said something that triggered her emotions. Okay. So she wants to go home with him because she feels like maybe he thinks she's special. And
Yeah.
therefore, she needs to create that specialness around all the event so she can take her clothes off and it'll be okay.
Oh, okay.
Right?
Oh, yeah, okay.
So
I
we
get
get
that.
really messed up a lot in that, because men also a lot of men get that. Oh, how many women say, oh, do you love me right before the clothes are coming off? And that puts that man in an awkward position of saying, well, right now, yes. yes, I love everything about you right now. And he might be speaking his truth for that moment.
Uh-huh.
Right?
Oh, yeah.
Right. And, and then she's feeling reassured. It's really interesting, the subconscious, unconscious dynamic.
Right. It's not a conscious dynamic. It's a subconscious. It's something that we don't have a lot of choice in or a lot of intention about.
We don't even think about it most of the time.
Well, there you go.
Somebody just triggers the right words, whatever those words are. That the smooth guys know all those words. Hey, beautiful.
Right.
I've been looking for somebody like you my whole life. This is the Prince Charming fairy tale. That's Cinderella. And we, boom, fall right into it.
So if we're not that lucky guy, or if we're not the smooth guy, then maybe we are the lucky guy. It's like kind of random. Maybe we say the right thing here and there. Who knows?
Right. Well, and then there are women that love the dorks and the geeks.
Ah.
The guys that kind of come up and they're obviously awkward and they're kind of shuffling their feet a little bit. I'm kind of entranced by dorks and geeks myself because it's more authentic. It's like, I'm coming up, I have the same agenda,
Uh-huh.
but I'm just not bringing it the same way. I probably haven't said this to a million. And I don't know, maybe he has said it to a million women. Oh, you're kind of cute.
Nice.
Hi.
And he pulls out a pen right out of his pocket protector. He says, would you like to go write my special name?
That's right. Where's your number, right?
Yeah.
I will say that last week when I answered a question that was, what's the best pickup line? And I said, hi, my name is so-and-so. What's yours? And one of our team members, Mike, our videographer, went out and tried that out.
Oh, I heard about
with
that.
great success. He said it was an amazing thing to do. Just unapologetically look at a woman and say, hi, what's your name? And she'd tell her name, and he'd say, hi, my name is, Mike. And then he'd just walk off. And because he asked me, he says, you just walk off? And I go, yeah, you just say, hi, what's your name? And then you walk off. And he's like, why? I said, watch. And he said that this very attractive woman just basically pegged him the whole rest of the evening, kept following her eyes, tracking wherever he went.
Wow, that's like creating that, bringing it in the room.
That's right.
So you don't have to walk in, be full of yourself, and try to bring it.
No.
You can walk in, you can just be yourself. When you sit down, somebody does catch your eye. Maybe there's a little bit of that eye contact that goes on across the room.
You want to do the eye contact. That's good stuff, yeah.
And then you also, if you're able to notice somebody looking at you, and then that's great. That's half of it.
Right.
So then you're saying there's something you can actually do. Give yourself a little bit of recognition.
Right. Let them know who you are
Ah.
without demanding anything from them. There's intrigue there. She's like, wow, he introduced himself, he's cute, he's confident, and now he's gone. Wow.
Huh.
What's that? He's not trying to pick up on me. What's going on over there? She's curious now. So, all right. If I'm interested or like a woman, how do I tell if she's interested in me or wants me to make a move? Any thoughts on that?
I do have some thoughts on that.
I'm sure.
The first thing is it sounds like these are two slightly different parts of the question. So the part, how can you tell she wants you to make a move, right?
Yep. How can she tell if she's interested in me or wants me to make a move?
Oh, it's an or. Okay.
Yeah.
Interest. See, I think the interest thing is going to come before the actual wanting to make a move.
Right.
And it just occurred to me now that maybe a lot of people think they mean the same thing.
Exactly.
As soon as a girl's interested, all of a sudden it's close off. Oh my God.
Thank you very much for bringing up that subtle difference, Max, because there is a subtle difference in that.
Oh.
Yeah. A woman can be interested in you and still not want to take her clothes off.
Aha.
Yeah.
So it's not so maybe now what we're saying is I'm trying to follow along this process here. Let's say I'm not a master because I'm not. I'm just
I thought you were
Max.
a sexual god.
Well,
Okay.
let's say I'm not a master. Let's just say that,
You're
that I'm
Max.
following along and I'm Max. So from this point of Okay, now I notice she's interested. How can I tell if she's interested?
Right.
Okay. Well,
she usually doesn't have her back turned towards you.
Hey, that's good. So when I talk, she's actually maybe inclined to speak back.
Right. She turns around and looks at you instead of just glances at you and turns her head away.
Right. Or
these are basics.
The basic thing, kind of that. There's this one I've seen quite frequently. Not that I want that to get out, but it's the kind of open the mouth, turn the head, and like look off and around the room. Yeah. You're talking to somebody.
Right.
Now, there's going to be people in life that you're interested in that may not be interested back.
That's amazing.
So this is a great question. We want to know how this is. And I would just say that somebody is engaging you actively in conversation.
Yep.
If they're willing to make eye contact, if they are not texting every 3 seconds, well...
yeah, you're talking and they're texting.
Right.
Probably not a good sign.
Probably not a good sign. Might need to reel that in a little bit.
Right.
And then, of course, now we'll go to the converse point. This also occurred to me. So I'm a guy. I want to know if she's interested. Suddenly now I am a little bit more masterful, and I realize, hey, she's interested when she is giving me some kind of contact, some kind of dialogue's happening, some kind of eye contact. We might actually get a little farther and start this process more and generate a little interest if we're willing to dialogue, make eye contact. I don't mean the start with the eyes and kind of, fall around towards the top of this, see what's going on with the blouse and, kind of now. What I'm talking about is,
genuine eye contact.
Genuine eye contact.
Right.
So I think that would be a great starter. We covered that in another question. So after we know, and we don't have to overthink this, hey, somebody's talking to us, they're interested.
They're interested in talking.
They're interested in talking.
Right. And what they're doing as a woman is assessing. Assessing your ability to stay present, what you're about, what's going on with you. Women make up their mind pretty quickly whether they want to sleep with you, too. Just kind of like men go over, oh, look, woman, ooh, yeah, okay, potential. And women are kind of doing the same thing. They look across the room, and depending on their intent of why they went out. I mean, some women have gone out with the intent to find a man.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
And probably it's for marriage. No. Or for, there's a lot of women out there that are saying, yeah, I want to go have sex tonight. Generally, they're hoping to have something more than just sex. Because, frankly, I have to say this, the lovers are not that great.
Oh.
And women too. We all need some remedial training. So just to go get laid is not necessarily all that it's cracked up to be all the time.
Right, but you are confirming that there are actually women out here who are looking at this.
Yeah, I mean, everybody goes out with different motivations, but a woman that, looking to have sex, she will pick somebody out. She may approach, or she may make it apparent that she's interested in you, so you approach her. And it's going to happen pretty quick. She's got an agenda.
Okay.
Yeah. But a woman that's kind of like, you may have to work a little bit harder at getting her interest. But, the signs are, is she touching your hair? Is she mirroring you? Is she leaning towards you or away from you? Those are really, really big clues. Does she keep, if you're across from, does she keep looking at you and smiling? Or looking and looking away but looking back again? She's interested. Those are pretty clear. Does she touch her clothes or her body when you're near her? Does she touch you? If she leans over and touches you, that's pretty golden.
Right.
Women are not going to touch you if they're not interested. So those are some of the things. And, he says to make a move. Well, what's a move,
Yeah, what's a move? That's scary.
Yeah, I think the biggest move you should ever make is a move that's almost as subtle as hers. So like a touch to the hand. If she mirrors that back, you can make that. But men have a thing about pushing. I mean, I know it's that biological drive to ejaculate, procreate, all that. But it's like if a woman is interested, a man takes that as a go, 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 DEFCON, run to the fourth base, go, go, go. It's not true. That's not really how that should go. Let her wait. I say this all the time. A woman can never wait too long. Women sometimes scream at me when I say that. But if you're a woman and you don't like to be aroused, you don't like to be teased, you don't like to be so aroused that you're going to scream, you can't stand it anymore, you need to think about that. Because really, it's a good thing.
Sounds like a good thing.
Yeah, right. Who wouldn't want that, right? And if you just can't stand it, that means you need to work on your arousal level. We all have the capacity to keep extending our ability to have pleasure.
This is a huge and recurring theme. A lot of people experience that in a lot of ways. I think it works both ways.
Yes, for men and women, we both are very much interested in releasing our sexual arousal instead of owning it, circulating it, breathing it in, making it bigger and bigger and bigger. I always wonder, how turned on can I get? And once I'm that turned on, can I actually get more turned on?
Hey, that sounds great.
It is great.
And what about having like some kind of reserve? I mean, I have heard this before, but women may find men more attractive when they have a little bit of reserve.
Oh, yeah. We talked about this, I think, last show about, how you keep your sexual energy. And it's that's part of how owning a room happens, by the way. You don't go spank the monkey before the date or before going out. That's just wrong, because you will deplete your sexual energy. Okay. How do I get her to show or indicate her interest? Well, I don't know. It didn't say good interest or bad interest. I say could jump up and down, take your clothes off. She may just indicate some type of interest. I don't think you get her to show or indicate her interest. I mean, if you wanted to push it, you could touch her and see what she did. If you touched her arm and she pulled it away, she'd indicated her interest.
Right. That's true. That's going to show you right there.
You can be bold. If you really need to get an answer right away, be bold, Be bold, walk up and say, "Hey, I want to kiss you." Wow, okay. she might give you an indication. I don't know that's it says if she's not showing interest or isn't showing up, how do I get her to refer me to a friend who would be interested?
Wow. This is marketing right here. This is marketing. Look at this person. Nice.
I love this. You can be like, hey, I noticed that you're really not interested in me, but do you have a friend that might be? I mean, I don't know. That's kind of cool. I would use that. I would do that. I might try that. I think I'm free this weekend. Maybe I'll go out and walk up to men that I'm obviously not their type and say, "Hey, are you interested in me?" If they say like no, it's like, great. Do you have a friend that might be?
That's going to work.
I wonder. We're going to have to go test that. Team Tantra, this is our mission. We're going to go out and test this.
Wow.
See if we can market ourselves to their friends. Do I have to spend a lot of money to date or be in a relationship?
Yes, absolutely. Don't you? This is what I've been taught all my life. The more money I have, the more successful I'm going to be in a relationship. Isn't that right? It's
going to be more successful in dating.
Oh, well, that's true.
What do you think, Billy? You have any thoughts on that?
It's crazy. It's 2009. You can say all you want to, but my buddy who has a $40,000 STI can still pull women just because of his car.
Right.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, yes, it is downtown Kirkland, which is the main strip. Lots of bars, lots of the 21-year-olds go there.
I was going to say what age range? Yeah, in their 20s, yeah.
But regardless, they also say when it's Cougar night, they try to go to the upscale Daniel's Broiler, go to the steakhouse.
Wait, where do I go for Cougar's night?
I'm sorry, what? Just the upscale, and go and try to get the business lady who's just getting the martini or something like that on her way home from work. They call Cougar nights too, so it's amazing what a car would do.
Saturday.
Exactly.
So it's the car.
It doesn't matter. Car, money, it's all the same.
You know what? There was a study done where at $50,000 and under, they took a series of pictures of men and these men's pictures, and asked the women to rate the looks of the men. And at $50,000 and under, women had a definite idea of how attractive the man was. After 50,000, so they're saying this man makes, X amount, right? Now these men make 50,000 a year, to a different group. The 50,000 men looked a little better. They actually ranked up a little higher. Once it was 100,000 and over, the men actually were definitely all looked good.
They were gorgeous all of a sudden, huh?
And that is interesting. But let me tell you, before you get angry at women about this, it has to do with nesting. It has to do with biology. I mean, the reality is it's not the money. It's the ability that you went out as a hunter-gatherer and you created security and financial security. And today, financial security, you don't have a cave.
Right.
Now, women are kind of dumb in that way, because what happens if he's like in debt to the max because he's got that dumb car and a dumb condo? I'm saying dumb, in the sense that he has no money because he's paying everything out on that just to ride around in that ride. That's not security.
Doesn't sound like it. Sounds like it's false hope there.
Right. So,
not to pick on anybody who has these things.
No, I have a nice ride.
Okay, fair enough.
I use my ride. Does it work for women too? If for women that are wondering about that, if you get yourself a 57 Mercury Monterey that falls apart regularly, it's a man magnet. I'm telling you, I had one. I was broken down all the time. Men would just flock out of their vehicles and just run over to see what was wrong. They'd be looking under the hood and going, I'd say, do you know anything about this? And most of them would go, no. Okay, yeah, so you're just running over here to look under the hood of my car to help me out. I see, that's great. So it's kind of a man magnet there, too. We're going to go take just a few minute break here. We'll be back in a few. Have fun, and remember, if you want to call us, it's 1-877-230-3062.
Is your sex life non-existent? Do sexual dysfunctions leave you soft? Is internet porn getting more than you are? Or are you paying more attention to porn than your partner? Have you tried talk therapy and it got you nowhere? You are not alone. You can be freed from sexual shame, guilt, and dissatisfaction. A visit to the Tantra teacher is in order. Call now and mention you heard the Tantra teacher on the radio and get a very special offer. Stop waiting for a miracle and call right now. 206-276-2735. Phone consultations or in person will get you the information you need to be successful in your love life. But you have to call now. 206-276-2735. Stop making excuses. Call the Tantra teacher. 206-276-2735.
Are you one of the 40 million sexless couples in the U.S.? Are you wondering why having sex leaves you feeling lonely? Are you suffering from the myths of sexual dysfunction? Do you know in your heart that there has to be more than what you're currently getting out of making love? To rid yourself of sexual ignorance, get more out of your lovemaking, and find out more about spiritual sexual connection, then you need to check out www.thetantrateacher.com to receive your free copy of the ebook called Secrets of the Tantra Teacher. Don't suffer another minute without the sexual loving and ecstatic bliss you were born to receive. Get to www.thetantrateacher.com right now. That's www.thetantrateacher.com.
And we are back talking with Max from Team Tantra. And we're answering email questions today. And we were, right before we left, we were answering the question about, do I have to spend a lot of money to date or be in relationships? And I did say that I was talking about how women are attracted. It's not necessarily they're attracted to money, but they see money as a means to financial security. And as a man that's gone out and he's brought back the mastodon. You know, he's gone out and he's hunted and gathered. What we have is false representation because you can have a lot of toys and stuff and be cash poor and not be secure.
This is true.
Right. So if women are indeed looking for security, you know, that's not the place. So what I used to do, which is great, we'd be out on a date, and I'd say, "Can I see your wallet?" And guys are like, "What? Your wallet? Can I see your wallet?" Now, most guys are like, okay. You know, they don't want to say no and feel like jerks. They don't, you know, so they hand me the wallet, and I kind of skim through the wallet. You know, is there a lot of cash in there, a lot of credit cards in there? What's there? Is there a condom in there? What's going on? This tells you all about bad place for your condom anyway, right? Your wallet. It gets smashed. It's not really a good place for it. You need your little condom purse.
Hey.
You carry it in an amulet thing around your pouch, around your neck. This is my shaman bag. Yeah. That's where I carry my condoms. Anyway, it's the new age condom carrier. You can't, you know, it is tough and it's hard. And there are definitely women that will not date men that don't bring it in the financial world. They just won't. And usually it's women that have made it financially as well. They just realize, you know, hey, I don't want to have to pay for everything. I don't think men should have to pay for everything either.
They shouldn't have to pay for everything, but I don't see anything wrong with a woman who says, look, these are my standards.
Yeah.
To me, that's a conscious decision.
Yep.
I don't think she's going to get a lot of disrespect for that. Yeah, maybe a little eyebrow raise. Like, is she a gold digger? But again, you're saying a lot of these women tend to have already made it financially themselves.
Well, there's the two types. There's the ones that made it fine, and then there's the ones that are looking to be taken care of.
Well, okay.
Let me tell you, there's plenty of men that are happy to do that. There are plenty of men that are happy to pay to have eye candy on their arm.
Nice.
Okay, and so that's what happens. And so you can't be mad at the women then either.
No, okay, so it's
a trade. Sex, look good, money, take care of you. I had a couple of friends way back when that were escorts, not escorts, they were actually like, what would you call that? They were courtesans back in my 20s, and they kept trying to get me into the life. Come on, they just had 2 clients apiece. They spent their days shopping, going to the spa, exercising, all to have sex with these couple of men a few, maybe 4 or 5 times a month when they rolled into town. And they were socking away the money because they said, we probably only have 5 or 6 years in this kind of realm or whatever. I don't know. If everybody knows what's on the table, is that so bad compared to some of our unauthentic relationships that we have?
Right, where nobody's fulfilled.
Right.
At least 2 people are being fulfilled here.
Well, they're being honest about what's going on.
Fair enough, right.
So, I don't know if it's fulfilling.
Right. That's a great point, yeah.
But I do believe that there's a little bit more honesty in that, perhaps. But, we do a lot of things that we don't really talk about. But the one thing I will say is they did do a study recently on integrity. And a woman will give up looks and money for integrity. The majority, yeah.
Really?
Right. It's just there's such lack of integrity in the world that, money's a safer bet, maybe. I don't know.
It's a good question.
It's something to consider. Yeah. Okay, so let's see. So if you don't have to, do you have to have a lot of money, or do you have to date, be in a relationship? If no, how do I communicate my present financial situation or preference to save my resources while still getting a date? So, or the preference to save resources was. So, how do I date cheaply? I'm
trying to hear the question here.
wasn't that how? So if I don't have to have a lot of money, how do I date cheaply? So people have those romantic notions. Nothing like a picnic.
True.
If you pick your date up and you've packed a picnic and you're going to the lake or whatever on a picnic, that's romance. Doesn't cost a lot of bucks and it's romantic.
It's romantic, and sometimes that leads to one of these situations where you have to be present with somebody instead of it's always about the event and the pomp and the circumstance.
Right.
Now here we are. If we're talking about a lasting relationship where maybe that's a better idea or picture of what fulfilling looks like for us. Maybe the sooner we get down to that, maybe the sooner we have conversations that matter or meaningful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and that's another thing. I always advocate that if a woman is interested in having children, and she's in her 30s or late 30s and something, that's her mission. She pretty well should put that out on the plate. Now,
yes.
And now men out there are like, oh my God, you're the first date on a woman, and a woman says, I just need to let you know that, I'm interested in starting a family. And, if that's not in alignment with him, that doesn't mean, hey, I want to have your babies. That means I need to find out and not waste my time if you're a man that's not interested in doing that.
That's really very fair.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because if you're not interested in doing that, why would you want to date that woman for a while? And everybody gets attached, and then it becomes this kind of messy thing. So guys, don't be put off if women are actually that authentic to tell you what their truth is. They're not trying to reel you in and say, I'm going to have your baby tomorrow. They're straight up. They're
just putting it out there, giving you kind of almost like an opt-out. If this is something that you're really not interested in.
Yep.
So they're trying to strike up a conversation. They're just trying to let you know what's up and be real. I would appreciate that.
Right. Yeah, it's great. Guess what? We have a caller.
You do have a caller.
Oh, we have a caller. Yay!
Ooh.
We love callers.
Mahi is online.
Hey.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
How you doing?
Good.
Fabulous.
Fabulous. Yeah, I'm calling with a question actually. So
we love questions. Go ahead.
Awesome. How do you recognize a sexual god in a crowd?
Oh, I love that question. That is an awesome question. If you saw Max, you wouldn't have to ask that question. But no, how do you recognize a sexual god in a crowd? That is the man that is unabashedly male. So he's definitely not afraid of being male. You know how a lot of men walk with their shoulders a little slumped and their crotch kind of tucked back a little bit? those men are afraid of being sexual. They're apologetic as men. That's not a sexual god. A man that walks into a room with confidence, not like, hey, baby, not one of those guys, but a man with confidence that has his shoulders back, his pelvis out, meaning here are my balls. And it's true, you look at a lot of more ethnic men are way more that way than guys in America. Yeah, she says it. She's like, do you hear? She goes, oh, yeah. See? Right, exactly. And so when we actually have men that are standing in that stance, that are not afraid to look at women, not in a leching way, but in a appreciative way. And there is a big difference between a man that's kind of ogling a woman and a man that's like, wow, women. Because he's going to look at a lot of different women. He's not just going to pick out the one that looks like the magazine cover. He's going to be like, wow, I am amongst women. And I feel good. That man is probably more on his way to sexual goddom. Now I can't tell for sure. He could just be really confident, but a confident man is way sexier and already probably has some more going on, right?
Yes, definitely.
Yeah?
Yes.
So.
Yep. So I'll be keeping my eye open for those sexual gods out there.
Definitely. Thanks for giving us a call.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Okay, bye.
You know who that was? We know that person.
We do.
We knew that person. For a minute, I'm like, wait a minute. Who's that sexy woman on the phone? She sounds familiar. We know her. And she is learning how to pick out sexual gods from across the room. Okay, let's see. How do I approach women I don't know? How do you approach women you don't know, Max?
Wow. I just approach them.
You start walking.
It's the 1 foot in front of the other thing. I learned this technique a long time ago.
1 foot in front of the other.
Yeah, I could go back to that, but we don't want to go back all the way there.
No.
Okay. So I really think it's that easy. I think that you can bring that sense of confidence we just talked about.
Yep.
Distinguish yourself with sexual goddom.
Yep.
And you can bring that and start to bring that simply by walking up a little confidently. You're not worried about it. And what's the agenda? What are we going to do when we get there?
Well, you see, part of this is that most men, since they already have the agenda, I want to have sex with this woman,
right,
have a lot to lose. Because they could get rejected. See, so it's all about your goal and your outcome. If your outcome is I'm going to approach that woman because I like the way she looks, and I'm just going to tell her I like the way she looks, and walk up and you're like, hi, I just have to say, you are stunning.
Wow.
And then turn around and walk off. Wow. She's like, whoa, where did he go? And maybe come back a little later, and just be closer, somewhere close to her and watch what she does with you. That's when you notice, is she interested? Is she trying to get your eye? Is she, contacting you? Something like that. You don't have to make it all happen at that time.
Right.
So
we walk up, we take a breath. Hi.
Yeah.
How are you doing? I noticed you from across the room.
Right.
And I just had to come right up. So I'm going to introduce myself. I'm Max.
Right.
What's your name?
Yeah. Perfect. Beautiful. Fabulous. Because she's like, wow, okay. And you're not trying to be slick or, offer something. Guys, get this. We have seen, if a woman is reasonably attractive at all, she's heard most of the lines.
If a woman is out there at all,
well, that might be true, too. That may be true, too. But I'm just saying, for the most part, we've heard the lines, and whether we accept them from you or not is if we're interested. If you use a lame line on us and we actually respond favorably, it wasn't the line. We already decided we liked you, and we're going to forgive you for the line.
Very good. Very good distinction.
That is a big distinction. Okay, so don't just think that line works. Okay, you might have something else that she was interested in. I say that, the best approach is basically to be completely straight up with just who you are. Just walk up, say something that's particular to her. Beautiful women hear they're beautiful all the time. That is just not, what is that? Hi, I think you're beautiful. Okay, great. What is she going to do with that? If you walk up and say, wow, those shoes are completely unusually cool.
Shoes, that will definitely bring it with a woman. Man notices her shoes, and all of a sudden she's like, who is this guy?
Right, and The sad part about that is, with the neuropathy, I can't wear cool shoes anymore. Nobody comes up and says, wow, those are cool shoes. Well, actually, no, I wear Crocs with little sparkles in them a lot. Some people do say that. But it is true. Your shoes or, wow, your bag, your purse is really unique. That is something, he's noticed something about her that isn't just her being beautiful. Or specifically, what makes her beautiful? Hi, my name is Bob. And I couldn't help but notice that color of your hair when the lights are hitting it from outside is breathtaking. Right? Specific to her.
Something specific, and I'm definitely going to step up and say something here.
Yes.
There is a big difference between bringing something genuinely that interests you. In other words, it's a great practice to find something appealing about anybody.
Yes, and we do that when we're out a lot of the time. The waitress, anybody walking by, hey, I love your jacket, hey, you have a beautiful smile, whatever.
That's a great practice, and this is a spiritual practice. This is just a life skill. But when you're really interested in somebody, it turns that up a notch. So it's even more important to actually find something which resonates, some truth in the voice, and a woman, I think, intuitively.
They do.
We
know that. I mean, there's a difference between a man that says, hi, you're really beautiful, and a man that goes, wow, you are so beautiful.
Yes.
Women can hear the tone, how you changed, how the voice, the delivery, what happened. Did he feel it? Was he feeling it when he said it is what we're looking for.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, that's emotion, right? Back to that emotion thing. Okay, I love this one. If I'm so damn hot, how do I get women to approach me? Do women approach really hot men?
I don't think so.
Do you get approached a lot?
I haven't really noticed it, no.
Why is that?
I wish I knew. Sometimes.
Billy, what do you think? Do women approach hot men?
Not so much.
No?
I think ladies, they enjoy getting the attention themselves. Not necessarily, that they're looking for all the compliments, but I think it's more traditional that the guy approaches the girl, so the girl is kind of wishing that happens more, so they're going to leave that opportunity to the guy to make that first approach.
Okay. Well, I always have been unusual as a woman. Frankly, if I'm out looking for whatever I'm looking for, I will walk in the room, I will own the room, I will scan the room, and I will walk up to whatever I think is the hottest man and walk over there and say, hi, you are incredibly hot, and I know you get that a lot, but what you probably don't get a lot is, hey, you, me, we're taking off right now.
Wow.
So, there's a line. So all you women out there wondering, okay, I'm a woman and I want that hot man. What do I do? There is one of those things from the Tantra teacher that does work.
Has it ever not worked?
No.
Exactly.
Right, exactly. There you have it. And we've discussed the fact that I am not Barbie and I am not one of those women that, everybody's like, ooh, but, when you walk up and you are completely in your power as a woman and you look a man in the eye boldly like that and say what you want, yeah, he's pretty mesmerized most of the time. So,
yes,
as women, I empower you. If you're, if all you're looking to do is have sex, that is an awesome way to do it. It cuts through a lot of the chase, a lot of the issues. Go for it, okay? If you're a woman who's interested in a relationship with the man, then I wouldn't say that because, we found out that most men are not interested in relationships with women that will have sex with them easily.
I would have to confirm this.
Wow. And how sad is that? How sad is that?
Well, I think it's a bit of programming.
Right, well, because then she might have sex with anybody that easily.
I know. It's just not as attractive, is it?
Right. So it's super hot if you want a one-night stand. A woman that's like that is super hot. If you're looking for somebody to marry or date for long term, not so super hot. She could walk up and say, and now here's a different approach. So you walk up not quite so confidently. So you just kind of walk up and maybe tilt your head a little bit to the side and kind of go, hi, wow, this is so embarrassing. I just absolutely couldn't help but notice you. And, well, anyway, I've never done this before. I'm not really sure what I'm even saying, standing here. I mean, it's not like you would ask me out or anything. Maybe you, I don't know. I'm just going to go back over there and have a drink.
Wow. As long as you don't take it back, as long as you don't take it back, I would be all over that. You're flustered, you're not sure. I mean, I'm getting flattered by the minute, like listening to you, and yeah, my brow's wrinkled, my eyes are squinting. I'm like, got this look on my face,
right? And Billy's over there going,
absolutely. Until you took it back, everything was great, but then you thought that you weren't good enough or whatever.
Yeah,
but that also leaves opportunity for the guy to feel like, okay, well, let me help her out.
Right.
Let me go ahead and take care of the situation.
Right. Yeah. So there's a whole different ways, but that whole in the feminine thing. Now you have a whole different experience. So, women, you do have some power out there. You don't just have to sit back on the bar stool and wait for things to happen if you want things to happen. Make it so. So if he's so damn hot, how do you get women to approach him? I don't know, because I kind of agree that the women that will approach somebody that's super hot are women that just want to have sex, and that's fine, and even then, maybe not. So, I think you still. Or what can I do to know when they want me to approach them? I think we've covered that. It's like, what do women do? They look at you, they create eye contact, they make an excuse to go to the bathroom a million times, walking by your table, with or without their girlfriends.
It's true. They drop those little hints.
Yeah, they're cruising you.
Yep.
But in subtle. You see, men need to get more subtle. That's why they're missing most of these things. They're looking for big motions.
Think if they were able to drop the agenda long enough to be able just to keep their eyes open and stop that internal dialogue, which is, sounds like this. It's like...
Right, exactly. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, perfect, exactly.
These psychic women are tortured by this sound all throughout the day. It's constantly pretty much...
That's funny, Max.
And,
I wonder how women all over feel about that one. Yes, we hear that in our heads all the time. But women are funny about that, because if it's from men that they want to hear it from, it's delightful. But so it's like the construction worker. The construction worker whistles at the woman. The woman looks back, and if they're good looking, she's happy, and if they're not, she's upset. So we do want to be sexual goddesses, and we want to be looked at, but apparently only by men we want to look at. Us, them, what, that thing that I'm trying to say.
It sounds like a recurring theme. It really does. And I've heard this now, I think, in 3 miniature conversations we've had. It seems to all come back to that the woman is pretty well decided on where this is going, or how, if this is going to go any farther.
Right.
Okay, a step at a time, maybe every woman.
Unless she's drunk.
Unless she's drunk.
And under 25. Under 25 women are much more swayed.
Wow.
They are. No, their confidence isn't very high. Under 30, women are, under 25, under 30, we know that their confidence isn't as high, and a lot of women actually feel grateful that a man would actually be interested in them. If you're cruising a level 6 woman, and you're a hot man, you almost always have a 100% chance. If you see, but it's sad. It's a sad statement on our society and how women feel. We have 2 minutes left, and I hope you guys enjoyed our segment today of answering questions and what we're talking about. And, of course, Max, who's doing really well now. Now he looks all comfortable and happy, like he could do this for a long time. How was it, Max?
It was great.
Isn't it fun?
It's absolutely wonderful.
It's great. Max has wonderful insight. He's an amazing man, helping run the team at Team Tantra. We've got, of course, workshops where we, as you know, on my Facebook, we are working diligently away to get. I've got a book that's going to be done by the end of this month, and hopefully, I think it's being published at the end in August sometime, coming out maybe in September. A bunch of ebooks going right now, edited and that type of thing, CDs, DVDs. Premature ejaculation ebook is just going. It's all around the globe, selling like crazy, with amazing testimonials coming back from that all over the place. And you don't have to be premature, because I don't believe in premature, to get it. It's the level 1 of sexual mastery and ejaculation mastery. So you'd want to pick that up. It's on my website under products. Get to the website, learningtantra.com, and drop me some emails of questions you have, and we'll answer those next time we're on the air. Thank you, Max.
Thank you, Tanya.
Thank you, Billy.
Thank you.
Thanks, you,
Billy.
all those hundreds of thousands of millions of people out there listening to us. We love you all. Bye.
You have been listening to the Tantra Love, Sex, and Intimacy Show with your host, Tanya Diamond. Visit our website at www.tanyadiamond.com That's TANJA for more information on workshops and classes.